Hello everyone and welcome to the Open Talks episode number 13. This episode we are going to talk about really interesting things which includes GPT-J. So all of you enthusiasts in NLP, you already know what is GPT-3, but I mean GPT-J, it's the new thing and it is open source. So let's see what is that and what is the capability of that model. Second is Google Tensor. We all know like what Google was trying to do. The things are already in the news, but Google has revealed some of the things about it, right? So let's see what Google has revealed. Third is Apple is literally literally scanning personal photos of people. I mean, it's not scanning, but it is going to in 6 months. So what is that like, and why is that even a thing? Why that should be allowed? And the last part is about plastic SOCs. We all know SOCs are literally related to silicons, right? We all of us say silicon chips, but plastic, how? Let's see. So yeah, bro, like let's roll the intro, right? Okay, so that's all about it. Let's start about from the first topic, that is GPT-J. We all know that GPT is like a very good model which can generate lots of things, including text. It can complete the text. It can summarize the text. It can do lots of things. Like it can even answer some of the questions, like what is the tallest building on the earth and those things. But the only issue with GPT-3 is like it's kind of not open source. You can see it is tied by the terms and conditions of Microsoft, and we all know like what is Microsoft up to with GPT-3, right? GitHub Copilot, and like if Microsoft is creating GitHub Copilot totally on the basis of GPT-3, it won't allow anyone else to use GPT-3 in the extent what they can use, right? So a very good alternative right now we do have is GPT-J. There are like two parties involved in this. With the collaboration of them, this model is a reality now. It is having 6 billion parameters. Like the model is having 6 billion parameters. Like like 6 billion is a huge number. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so I just want to show you one thing, guys. As you can see in the screen share, see the yellow part has been written by human, but the blue part is written by AI. I mean, see the quality of the content, right? These models learn by combining statistical inference and optimization techniques. The method referred to. You can see the model has grasp on English grammar. It has grasps on very complex terms, and it knows like what it should talk about. It's not just blabbering anything. So that is one of the thing. Second thing I would like to show is like absolutely it can generate codes. So here what okay, so yeah, so here what this guy, the name of this guy is Centex. What he tried to do was he told that I want to generate a regex expression to find the dollars in the string, and you can see in the blue the code has been generated by the AI, and after running it you can see the output, right? See, it is found these three, and it's not like it will if you will run the model second time, it will be giving you different results because it has lots of ways to do the same thing. Second thing is like it's not just about this simple task, it can even do OpenCV. So here you can see like the guy has written file name, and the comment is like open image in CV2 and find edges of the object. So we all know, like, we have to do can age detection and those things, right? But model knowing the same thing, model knowing this is the file name, this is what I have to open, and the whole code is working, right? Literally, as you can see, he just copied the code, no editing, and the thing is literally working, right? So there you go.
Yes.
That is one of the
That is amazing, right? I mean, that is amazing. Literally amazing.
That is amazing. And Abhiram, like, hold your breath. And audience, you also hold your breath. This is
Yeah, like this is
importing
my
some
first
layers
look
of
into
Tensor.
GPT-J, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. Abhiram, like, this is the raw reaction of Abhiram. Like, I have seen, but Abhiram is not seen. So, yeah. So, like, this, as you can see in the screen, we have imported some layers of the from the keras, and we have told the model to generate 3 layers of CNN for 60 cross 64 image, and which literally has 5 classes. So it's a classification problem, but using CNN architecture and deep learning, deep neural networks. So the model has literally generated a code which is working. Like, see,
Oh,
this code has been generated. He just copied the code to Sublime and just ran it, right? The code is literally running, and accuracy is reaching around 90%, right? Then he
yeah,
changed
writing AI, right?
AI writing AI. Like, can you imagine, guys? And like, hold your breaths. This is not even the main function of this GPT-J. Like, I'll show you the proportion
Absolutely.
of the data
I
set.
mean, it
Like,
is a text
because
processing, you can say text
exactly,
processing engine. It is not
yeah,
even meant to process code and, write code.
right.
It's just a side effect,
So
right?
exactly, yeah, this is a side effect. Like, I'll show you the proportion of the data set. Like,
Just
on this
one
data
thing I
set,
need to know, right? This is a pre-trained model, right? We
yes,
are we are like
it's a
downloading.
pre-trained model.
Yes.
Yes, it's a pre-trained, but we can fine tune to our needs, of course. You
I
can
mean, we can
always
train it
retrain it.
with our own data if we want. But the thing is, I don't think we
Absolutely,
have that
absolutely.
much data to train this kind
Yeah,
of a big
yeah.
ass model, right? Like,
Right. So in the second example, the guy has changed the layers and the number of classes, and the model has correctly done that. You can see it done 7, and the layers are exactly 2. So I mean, see, it understands what you are trying to do, and
oh,
as you can see, the code is absolutely working. Third thing is, it can even generate JavaScript, HTML, and those codes. So, like, here, what we want to generate is, like, we want to generate a code which has a button in it, and clicking on that button, browser should give us an notification that your browser has been taken by AI, right? So here's this raw the thing in comment, and the code has been generated by the AI in the blue line, and he just pasted it into the thing and clicked on the button using, and you can see your browser is now been taken by AI. So
so
see,
yeah, I mean, it like
it
the
can do,
HTML, like HTML was generated by them, or like it was just the.
no, the whole thing was generated by AI, right? We just
Oh,
started it, like, HTML and body, that's it.
okay. Got it.
Yeah. And initially, this button was even not there, but after, like, just with button, like, just without button, it was not doing great. So he just included a button and then told, like, clicking on this button, it should do this thing. So then it
So
created
there is
even
like
more
you can say some push you
intelligence.
need, right? I mean, push it
Yes,
needs.
some push you actually need, right? One more thing, like, it's not just that it can create programming languages, programs using different programming languages. It can convert from one language to another. So if you give it a C++ code and tell it to convert that to Java to Python, it can do that.
Oh,
That is interesting, right? I mean,
I mean,
that is that.
there are a lot of parsers which are, even
Yeah,
failing, right? I mean, this is really trivial, right? Converting from one language to another. It's
correct,
like
correct.
you
That
can
requires
even
a
take the
lot of
mission code,
reasoning.
and from the mission code, you can build it back, right? To,
Yes,
workable. You can say compile C
Absolutely.
to machine code and decompile it to something like Rust or something. Right? You can do that.
Right. Okay.
But
Okay.
even those things are like sometimes failing, right? They need to produce
Yeah.
excessive code. Exact in the sense like
Right.
exact functionally exact, right? Not like exactly
Correct.
same as the programmer wrote.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, this
So,
is amazing.
I mean, this
This is
can,
amazing.
and you can see, right? See, in this thing, where is text overflow? This rectangle, small rectangle. Where is
Oh,
GitHub? This small rectangle. So,
this is the
see the
data set.
proportion, right? This is the whole data set on which the model was trained. And you can see proportion, like, you can see the things which we just showed is just a small part of the whole thing. The model can literally do immense amount of work other than this thing,
Absolutely.
which we are yet to explore. And it can, I mean, of course, like by now you have already guessed that it can do conversations like normal humans. You can just, you can, what you can do is, you can just ask something, it answers something. You can just copy the whole thing, human and AI answer, question answer. You can again give one question, it will give one answer related to the previous question answers. So it is, I mean,
So
you
it
already
preserves the
guessed by
context
now,
kind
right?
of like it does
It preserves the
preserve the
context.
context.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes. Right. And there are like multiple other things also which it can do. So the whole point of this thing is basically, I would say, uh, like there is no dominance of GPT-3 now. Like we have some good open source content. Yeah. So the thing is that this was needed, right? Someone had to come up and build something like this, and it is now. So yeah, bro, like this is
So like
pretty good, I would
GPT-J
say.
is not made by OpenAI.
No, no.
Okay, so who made it?
I have to check, right? Just one. We can
Yeah,
check it.
sure.
Who made? Also, let me share the screen with audience.
Absolutely, yes.
Who made GPT-J? Okay, it's not even famous, right? Yeah, this guy, right? I mean, this
Right.
Ileuther AI. I cannot even pronounce it, but you know, these are the guys who made.
Oh, maybe when they
It's
were kids.
brand new.
I don't think they are kids, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Oh man. I like the paper was paper was totally open, right? The GPT-3 paper.
Yes. Even you can access this model. It's not like you cannot access. You can access.
I mean like the
And
GPT-3 paper. I think it was open, right? Like
okay,
the three
okay,
paper. So in theory, it was
yes,
like just. I mean, someone had to just build it. That is it.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what these guys like? It's not like they succeeded in first turn. They first built GPT Neo X. That was like I would say an ancestor of GPT-J, and then they
Oh,
upon that they built GPT-J. So you know now like this is the second attempt of theirs.
oh
If
yeah.
there is any third attempt, like yeah,
I mean, this is amazing.
yeah,
Like, I am not that surprised because GPT-3 has already proven this is possible, right?
right,
But the thing is, replicating the same results, right? Similar results
correct,
with a totally
correct,
open source technology now. That is amazing, right?
absolutely,
Microsoft, they kind of lost the
right,
monopoly on this whole thing.
yep,
And I think that is positive
that
because
was
someone can now build a copilot now.
exactly, right. That
Maybe
is
you
pretty
can,
good.
right?
That is pretty good. Yeah, yeah, I'll try.
Model is open, right? You can just train it. But
Models
the
are
thing
pretty,
is, I
yes,
don't think you need a good amount of, you can say, research to train, right?
right, 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 man.
So I don't know, right? Like, Yeah, I mean you can use it, but I don't think you can train that. Like you
Yeah,
need.
it will require a lot amount of
I think
resources.
you can do it in Colab. Like Colab should, in theory, suffice, right? Like
Colab, I still think like it doesn't have enough RAM, but I can always try, right?
yeah, like I
So
mean VRAM should be okay, like, with Colab. No, the
yeah,
RAM
yeah,
maybe like 12,
yeah,
16 GB. I think that is only what they give, right?
yeah. Only 12 GBs nowadays.
So yeah, I mean like, I mean they are going like premium, right? So
Yeah,
I mean
right.
they have to earn money, right? Like this is like a lot
Yeah,
of.
yeah, that's also like it's like a real hardware, right? They are giving you Tesla T4 is not a joke.
Real
P100
hardware and
P100 is not a
real
joke.
amount of electricity being pumped in.
Yes. Even I
So
would say development of the whole platform, right? It's not that hard, say,
I
but
mean it's based on
it's like
Jupyter, which is open
it's what is
source,
it?
but still it
Yes,
has so much features which Jupyter can
correct.
still imagine to achieve. Right? Like
Yeah,
addition of good snippet and integration of that file management thingy, like
right, right. It's cherry on top on this thing.
having some
Even now it,
something, uh,
yeah,
counters of
now
typing
it
and
gives you, yes. Actually, now it gives you the timing on the left. Also, it gives you from which function it is going through as of now. So if you have multiple functions
right, right,
in the
right.
stack, and if one function is taking a lot of time, it will
I
show
mean, do you
through
remember
which
those
function it
days
is.
where it didn't even report the RAM and CPU? Right? Those days, old
Yeah,
days.
yeah, right, right,
I mean, old days, I was like literally thinking research.collab.com was a mistake. Something like a mistake they did, right? I mean, something they
yes,
were like
yeah,
thinking of keeping it to internal, and they kind of publicized it, and they then saw
right,
like something is really good, right? Because it is not
right,
research.google, like I mean it's not collab.google.com, it's like collab.research.google.com. So it feels like
yes,
something else, right? I mean some
correct,
project
correct, correct, correct,
thingy, right? Like,
right,
but now as it is like at that point even collab was not integrated with G Drive, right? Those times.
yeah, yeah,
Then after that it got integrated. I mean the sheets were still saved in Drive. When you click
right,
on the sheet, it doesn't open in Colab.
yeah,
Our topic is GPT-3, and I do think I mean, like GPT-3 would actually make sense for people trying to make spam now. I mean,
yeah, 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 right.
what is the best way to defeat a bot, right? Using a bot.
Oh man,
Like Alan Turing's idea, right? Alan Turing's idea was, yeah, like those German people built the Enigma machine, right? And
right,
everyone was trying to break the code. So you kind of
correct,
know
right,
Enigma machine has the rotary encoders. You can say uh, swapping bits, right? I mean, swapping the
yes,
connections. So those rotors, right? You have rotors. I don't know how many. I forgot, three or four rotors, and uh, they were like I guess 53 plugs or something, right? To plug board, the plug board.
right,
Plugs of configurations, lot of things. The thing is the base thing is that even a machine which is good like nowadays will
yeah,
take at least a week to break that, right? At least
right,
you know
right, okay.
doing all the optimizations, right? Will take a week
Yes,
to break that. So he kind
right,
of
right, right,
thought about like why do we break it mathematically? Like clearly machines are faster than humans, right?
correct,
Why
correct,
break it mathematically, right? I mean mathematics in the sense like using
yeah,
humans mathematics, right?
yep,
Why break it with a machine,
hmm.
right?
Right,
So something like if AI can write emails, right,
yeah,
then that is the best way to kind of like fool another AI,
absolutely,
which is
absolutely.
trying to find
Now,
out spams.
yeah,
Fighting
Gmail,
fire with
Google,
fire, kind of like.
those people, right,
Obviously, I don't really like that statement though. Fighting fire with fire, that doesn't make sense, right? But yeah,
Yep.
still like, yeah, it is pretty much similar.
Right.
Um,
But it is interesting, like the capabilities on which the model can generate this text. I'm sure,
Absolutely.
as of now, it is pretty hard to detect the spam using that model. But let's
I
see.
mean, we can make a bot out of it if you want,
Yeah.
a chatbot.
Oh.
But it
Yep.
we can, I
Yep. Yep.
guess. I mean,
I
in
think
future,
yes.
like if we have time, let's do it. Right? Let's make a chatbot,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I
Right.
think that will be epic, like the most epic chatbot we have ever created.
Right. Right. Right.
I mean, we didn't create it. It's like the model and everything is there. We just create the encapsulation
Yes.
around it, like calling
Right. Right.
API calls and
Yeah.
just. I mean, not even API.
Right.
Right? We are basically allowed to download the whole model. It's not
Yeah.
even
It
like
could be even
you have to
offline.
do API calls.
Right. Right. Right.
I mean, like AI is going to take off, right? I mean, in few years, we'll be having
Yeah.
machines which can even do stuff which
Right.
is literally unimaginable. Like for example, let's say,
Absolutely.
I mean, have you seen that meme where you are like, AI when solving math problems, they are like literally amazing,
Oh.
right? And when
Yeah.
AI is solving like capture, they are like, little kid.
Yes.
I guess
Just a
with this,
spoiler, right?
that will change.
Uh, I mean, just a spoiler.
The,
Just GPT-J can already do maths. So
oh,
there
it
you go.
can already do that. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought text input, how do I convert the image to text to give it, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Can
I
do
mean, you can
multiple
give
things.
base 54 and go,
Right.
but I hope it can
You can
also
even
understand.
ask some. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like you know what? Let's do this. Let's make two GPT-3s. Like,
Okay.
let's make small alterations on top of it. Let's
Yeah.
connect
Yeah.
them together.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Right. 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 Let's see. It will be amazing to see that.
Maybe after some time they will be starting to talk in. Uh, what was that language they use in Star Trek? Uh, Kling,
Uh,
Klingon, yeah, Klingon.
no. No. Oh. Okay. Right. Right.
You know that language, right? Klingon, like Star Trek.
Yeah.
You have
I
seen
have
Big
not
Bang
seen
Theory,
Star Trek.
right? Yeah, you have seen Big Bang
Yes.
Theory, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Sheldon knows Klingon, right?
Okay.
Sheldon sometimes talks in Klingon.
Oh.
Maybe they will
Okay.
start talking in Klingon, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It could be. It could be possible. Like it could happen. Right.
And like I don't know, like there might be more possibilities, right? Even optimizing languages, right?
Yep.
Our languages are not that optimal in the sense like we have been
Yeah.
using this language for
Absolutely
a
not.
long time, and
Right.
we haven't changed much. I mean, we have changed a lot, but
Yeah.
it's not enough for
But there is always
optimization.
like ambiguity, grammar, and those
There's a lot
things,
of
right?
ambiguity. There is a lot of redundant words, right? I mean, those are
Yes.
literally not useful if you have redundancy. Right? I mean, in case of
Right.
language, right? I mean, you need to minimize the number of words so that everyone can remember it,
Correct.
rather than having a whole plethora
Correct.
of. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, I'm positive towards it.
Yeah. Me
Uh,
too. Me too.
anyway, like in Silicon Valley, there is that person.
Yeah. Yeah. No?
Silicon Valley, right? Silicon Valley
Oh
TV
yeah.
series. There is that person who's a systems engineer, right? Do you remember
Oh
the one with the lizard eyes? Like,
yeah. Long hair. Yes. I forgot the name. Right. But yeah, I remember
yeah,
the
like
person.
yeah, you remember him, right? So
Yeah.
uh, the name started with G, right? So anyway, like
Okay.
he basically like says like this, like
Yeah.
I better help the AI grow, otherwise AI will basically see that he basically didn't allow the AI to grow. So maybe
Oh
like
man. Yeah.
you get the idea, right? Maybe like he will
Yeah.
be like
If we will.
taken by the overloads, right?
Yes.
So yeah, like
He's like, if I'll help AI right now, AI will help me in future when AI
yeah,
has already taken over the
yeah,
human.
maybe like just sparing is like that's what he said.
Right. They might spare him. That's why he was helping.
So something like that. I don't think like
Yeah.
this is like candidate
Gilfoyle.
level.
Yeah.
Like it's not even
Abhiram.
10% of candidate level thing, right? I mean,
Yes.
there is a
His
lot
name
to
is
go,
Gilfoyle,
but
right?
this is a very big step towards it, right?
It's very big. Yes.
Very big step.
And now
And the
it's open
computation
source.
power
Like,
we need is
people
also
can.
very less compared to other models.
Right.
Like for
Right.
giving
Right.
impressive results, like
Yep.
those models with those much computations doesn't do this
Right.
much use. So I am positive, right? I'm positive towards it. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So with that, we move to our next topic. Next topic is about Google Tensor. Like, we all know, like, there was something going to come from Google, but we didn't know like what was that. So now Google has revealed the thing. We are for sure we know that it's based on 5 nanometer process, and most probably Samsung is going to handle the manufacturing. So I mean we have all seen Google and Samsung shaking hands in Google I/O, right, for that smart
It's like ARM
smartwatch
and
operating
NVIDIA,
system
right?
thing.
I mean,
Yes.
competition.
So the thing is that the chip will have some CPU. That's not the focus. The focus is the tensor processing unit they are trying to build inside that small SoC. So basically, the whole idea is like the machine learning tasks in the phone, like applying some filtration on the image process. Like that's what the Google camera is famous for, and Google Assistant, speech processing, and those things, right? Those all require machine learning. But now that will be even faster with that tensor processing unit inside the CPU. That's what Google has told by this time. But I am like little bit skeptical about the performance of the actual CPU, right? Because the TPU is all about that separate section in the SoC regarding machine learning things. But we don't know like how the CPU will perform. Like I am not expecting it to go beyond Exynos, and even like Qualcomm, it's not like it's not in the league. Qualcomm like Exynos cannot even surpass. So like Google, I don't think so. But let's see, right? This is what my assumptions are. Yeah, bro.
So I mean, like uh, you have used tensor processing units for like those things are like I mean, like when it came up, it was like they're saying like, oh, this is going to beat CUDA, right? Like that is how it was presented, if you remember. And after
Yes,
using it, it
yes,
was like I felt like you know what the hell is this? Like CPU was faster, but I don't know, right? Maybe our application was not that specific enough for the TPU to handle. Yeah, but the thing is, anyway, having a hardware inside the chip is always good.
right, right, yeah.
But why are they not implementing CUDA when they can instead of putting TensorFlow like TPU?
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe
yeah,
Google
yeah,
have literally pushed NVIDIA to do that.
yeah. It seems like that.
But CUDA is the way, right? I mean, when you think about it, it's general purpose.
Yeah,
It's not special purpose.
really,
It can do anything. You have to just program it.
absolutely.
I don't know. TPU
I
maybe
mean,
having some advantage in power consumption, maybe like
okay, yeah, it could be one of the reasons, right?
you know
And like CUDA is like
there's
little bit,
thing, right? Whenever industry does
yeah,
something, there's absolutely a reason, real reason, right?
yeah. There is a reason. Yep, sure,
Like there is very compelling reason to make this decision, right?
absolutely,
I mean, the compelling decision can
absolutely.
also be as simple as money, right? But most of the
Yeah,
time it is not.
yeah, right,
It may be just that the TPU has much more efficiency, and mobiles have battery, so
correct.
Yeah, I mean, in theory,
And
they have to plan for
this is
the
like
energy backup, right?
the first version we are talking about, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
first version always has some of the uh, you know disadvantages, but I think I think a healthy competition is always a good thing. We now have one more competitor in the market, other than Apple, right? So yeah,
Yeah, like
it's a good
AMD
approach.
has the ROCL, right? Redon Optimized
Oh,
Compute Libraries, right? I
okay,
mean, for Redon CPUs, right? It is open source, you can download it. But the problem is CUDA is the standard, right? Like everyone follows CUDA,
yeah, yeah,
right?
right,
I think like you, right? I mean, now we have three competitors, like Apple, Google, and I guess one more, yeah, Samsung, right? These are the three major manufacturers of phone, like competing with each
absolutely,
other, right? Like that, you can say there is like AMD with ROCL and Nvidia with CUDA and Google with TPUs. But the only thing that doesn't make sense to me is that TPU is not open source. Like not open source in the sense not open source. Like I mean, the hardware is not open. Right? The hardware is closed. Like in the sense,
yes,
it can only be
absolutely,
used for
yes,
tensor processing. It can only do tensors.
correct,
That is, it can only do
correct,
linear algebra. Nothing else. Right? I mean,
nothing.
it feels really really boring. Right? When you think about it.
Yeah, it's
The
like
whole
literally
point
meant
of a
for
computer is like
one thing.
having some general computation capability.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
special
yeah.
computation capability when there is absolutely a lot of things uh, going to be banked
Then only,
on that, right? I mean,
right,
which
right,
is
right,
matching that particular load.
correct,
So yeah, I mean, I'm positive towards it, right? Like let
right,
there be
right,
a
right.
change, right? Let there be change in SOCs.
Yes, yes,
Let there be change in
right.
the whole way I guess we interact with Android. If this is absolutely going to embrace AIs, then we will see actually good AIs in phone, right? But the main problem is
Right.
that like with AI, there's also a negative effect. That is, will
Yeah.
the AI spy on us? Will the AI report our daily chats to the
Oh
Google?
man.
Will they use
This is
this
literally
AI
the
to
next
even
topic,
data
right?
and mine, right?
I mean, this is literally the next topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
I mean,
lot of
even
things
me
can
too.
go
Yeah.
sideways, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the things are going sideways.
Things
It's
are
not
going
like it
sideways.
can.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they are absolutely yes. So yeah, like I mean, TPUs and all good. Where is
Right.
where is that AMD with Samsung chip?
Oh man. I
Like it was
I
all
really
announced and
uh,
then it was like gone. Right? You know,
exactly. Exactly.
I have no idea what where they.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that will be a better one. I mean, not
Right.
really leaning towards AMD
Right.
or anything. It's just that AMD does it everything in a you can say in an open way, right? They have
Right.
like whenever we talk NVIDIA has G-Think, while
Yeah.
AMD has VThink. Right?
Right.
NVIDIA has DLSS, right?
Correct.
And AMD has what is the thing they added for scaling? I forgot. That thing is open, right? I mean, to anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we think about like drivers and all, NVIDIA
Hmm.
has closed source drivers. AMD has open drivers.
I see.
It
I see.
feels like AMD is doing the right thing, but like it's just the push is not getting to the right spot.
But
Mainly with data
just
center,
because,
right?
yes, I
Gamers
mean,
are
the
buying
only
it.
reason is, yes, because of CUDA, right?
CUDA, yeah. I
Because
mean,
TensorFlow is
they
not
are even like
supporting.
pushing these CUDA to like universities.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Okay.
we have seen, like, you know,
Right.
CUDA is taught
Right.
everywhere. Everyone knows CUDA.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I think actually maybe MD's chance is that this partnership with Samsung. I don't know
Right.
if it dropped or anything because it's like silent right after that. But when you think about it, I mean, this will be more the competitor. AMD will have their own computation library,
Right. Right.
right? Like CUDA, and maybe they will make their own AI, like, on top of that. Uh, I mean, not they making it, right? Someone will make it, right? An AI which works on top of that. Then we will have a comparison. What does TP offer? What does AMD offer? Right?
Correct. Bhaiya.
To be sure, AMD is absolutely giving, I guess, you can say, general purpose computing, while Google is now pushing in special purpose computing. So what Google is meaning is that your device should have AI, and it's must. It's a necessary feature. It's like basic, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so you're getting the idea, right? Like only when something is basic, you do like in hardware level, you add. Otherwise, you keep it all
Right.
general purpose. For example, you don't want the code of the whole Linux to be a hardware, right? Like you don't
Right.
want to
Right.
implement a hardware which can run Linux. I mean, in the sense like it doesn't run the code. It literally has hard coded Linux inside. You don't do that because Linux
Correct.
has to be updated. Linux has to be like it has to be software. It has to be general purpose computing machine, right? And things like that. I mean,
Absolutely.
it is bogus to go the other way. But when you think about video processing, absolutely. I mean, like we are literally using CUDA and Intel VAPI, right? I mean VAPI to encode this whole stream, right? On your end, my end, on server end, everything is encoded using NVIDIA or Intel, right? Like, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those places we literally will actually benefit because the thing is video is basically same thing again and again, right? The same problem, same situation, same thing. You just have to
Right.
just do it. And the tensors, I mean, tensor goes just TensorFlow. That is the only thing which you can use it. Maybe like hack it, maybe we can use it for other purposes, right?
Yeah. Right.
let's
Right.
see let's
So,
see, right? Google 6 is, I
yeah.
mean, Pixel 6 is coming up with that, right? So we will see,
Yes.
I guess, new
Pixel 6 is
reports.
something like that. Correct.
Is it
Correct.
released? I mean, the phone is released?
No. 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 No.
No, right? It's
Absolutely not.
just announced, right?
Yeah. Just the fixed phone is announced. Like there are some renders. Google has themselves leaked, and there is some information about Tensor chip they have leaked. It's like all marketing team, like they are
Yeah, like they
doing
are
their
just
stuff before
leaking
release.
now and then to keep people
Right.
engaged.
Just to get the heat and those things. So I mean, let's see how that performs, right? When it comes
Perfect.
to the
Yeah.
real life. Okay, so with that we move to our next topic, that is Apple. So there is a feature which is in development in Apple, which will be in action in 6 months. What the feature is, it will scan your personal photos, right? It
Oh,
scan the personal photos of yours, and if there is any child abuse detected in the photos, it will directly contact the authorities.
okay.
It's like that's the feature they are going to build, right? So there
Okay.
is enough time for us to, I mean, not us because we are not going to use that, but enough time for users to complain about this feature, or maybe they are supporting this feature. We don't know. We don't know the perspective of Apple users because they are always different. But yeah, so this is the feature, right? I mean, they will be scanning your personal photos
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't know
on
what
device
their
photos.
intentions are, right? There can be two intentions with this. One intention is to build an AI which is really good at classifying, you know, abuse photos with non-abuse and
Yes.
legitimate photos. I mean, like the thing is, you can start from child, because it's like a hot topic where people most
Right,
probably
right,
agree
right,
with it, right? I mean, like the thing, right? That is how they are like literally portraying, right? I mean, if you're basically saying,
exactly.
okay, any abuse photo, we will like flag. I think most probably people will be like, yeah, where is the privacy? Where
Yeah,
is the thing, right? But with child abuse, I think people will be like literally scared to say, okay, yeah, just get rid of my privacy and do this thing, right? I mean, but the thing is, like, this is very trivial. I mean, trivial in the sense, like, it's like I can't see anything on it, right? That is the kind of situation with this topic, right?
I mean,
If you
it's
lead
like
towards the
see
other
the
side, right? Like one side,
exactly
uh, yeah, if you lead towards one side, it's like child abuse. Children are getting abused, and that should be
yes,
stopped, right? Uh, Obviously,
yes,
100%. But if you're
yeah,
leaning towards the other side, it's like, right to privacy, and people are not given the privacy. I'm pretty sure AI is going to make a mistake, right? Maybe,
right, right,
maybe they will have some kind of intimate photos, right, of them and their partner,
right,
and they might flag,
yeah,
like the AI might flag it as maybe like a child abuse. Then it will
yeah, it
obviously
could
go
be
to a kind of like a human review, 100%, and some
correct.
human is going to see that 100%, and these photos
Yeah,
are not like
yeah,
they are normal photos, right? Most probably going to be flagged. These photos are
yeah,
going to be very intimate photos, right, which are going to be flagged,
right,
and that might actually piss off a lot of people. I mean, if we put
I
it in
mean,
the correct way, right?
yes,
Um,
correct,
I
correct.
mean, like,
See,
AI makes mistakes, 100%, 100%. I mean, it just makes
yes,
mistakes. It's like, I mean, like programs are not meant to make mistakes, but AI is not a
exactly,
soft, like, it's not a hard program. It's a soft program. Like, I mean,
right,
it's like fuzzy logic. So, I mean, even the
right.
people who create the AI doesn't know anything how it will react, right? Like,
It's a black box. Yeah,
it's just they can say the probability how it will act, but there are situations where they are literally like 90 degrees wrong, right, about how it will act, because
exactly,
it's
exactly.
just too much things to process for a human mind to, like, to
Yeah,
learn what AI learned, right? uh, I mean, like, why I'm bringing this whole thing is that, uh, like, if this is the case, there will be a whole division of people getting employed just to see these photos, right?
right, right.
And what if someone is some kind of a, you can say, a pedophile or something, right? They can just kind of,
Yeah,
get employed in this particular division, and they can kind of enjoy it. It's also creating jobs, and
yeah.
it's legitimate now,
It's a, it's
right?
a,
I mean, like, I actually strictly disagree with this, right? I mean, either let AI totally take up, right? No human whatsoever,
right,
right?
right, right,
Flag
right.
the people, but that will absolutely be inhuman, right? That's a problem. That is the moral part, right?
Yeah,
We have to basically be like, either be very strict, right? I mean, strict in the sense, like, nothing, like, flat is flat, and there is nothing, no one can push it. Done, right? Like,
right,
that is one way
right,
to do it. The second way is, like, flat is a kind of like suggestion. AI is saying someone should basically see and review it, and if that person is not trustworthy,
correct.
things can leak to the internet. Things can actually get copied over, sold in darknet. The whole scenario happening again. Like, now the thing
Yeah,
is, the data is easily accessible than the, right? Like, think about the
right,
photos which might get flagged, right? I mean, when you think about it, when you're clipping a photo, right, and you didn't know, like, some child was there in the background, it might get flagged, and those photos will get into this thing, and it will see it's not abuse, but if a person is
correct,
literally not sane, that person will copy it, keep it there, right? Think about it, right? Like, there
right,
are a lot of things. So the thing is, I don't know, right? I mean, I'm literally neutral on this topic, right? Like, I don't know what to do, right? It's anyway Apple users who are going to be paying this.
Absolutely.
whole thing. So
I mean, Google has already built a way to do this, right? TP. But
I mean,
let's
with
hope
Google
that
Photos
they don't
mostly.
implement. Yeah, that's already happening. But I mean, the offline thing, right? Not the online.
Oh, okay,
Google has
okay.
already built that Tensor chip, right? So it's just the
Yeah, I mean, like,
time
yeah,
which
like
is stopping
that
them.
is just. I mean, this has
Matter
Apple
of
is
time,
doing it
right?
in cloud, right? Most probably.
Yeah, they I mean,
They're
okay,
99% taking the photos to cloud and just basically like at least
right,
downscaling it to some size which is not that big and trying to analyze that in cloud.
right.
I'm
Okay,
pretty sure they will be doing it in cloud because like
yeah,
if you do it in phone, right? I mean, there is too much photos to process. I mean, think about it. Like, WhatsApp photos,
yeah.
photos your
It will take a
camera
lot of
takes.
time.
It will absolutely
Lot
take
of
a
time.
lot of time to process. And the thing is, I mean,
Yes.
like people who are really good with technology, right? I mean, they literally will get escape all these things, right? I mean, they will
Yes.
literally use Linux phones, right? I mean, or not a phone at all,
Right.
right? They will literally not use a phone at all. I mean, I don't know,
Absolutely
right?
right.
Like it's just like the problem is like humans. There are like two parts, right? I mean, there are the cruel humans and non-cruel. But the thing is, it's just relative. You know a study, right? Like I have read about a study, right, which has been conducted. I forgot, right, the name of the study. In that, what happened was they were like literally students, right, from a university, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, okay, so they were like literally students from the university, right? Like the university, I think it's a really named university, right? I mean, some Stanford or something. Like I literally forgot, right? So what
Okay.
is the study was like you can say what is the mental effect which will happen on prisoners, right? And some students
Oh.
volunteered, right,
Oh.
for this
Okay.
experiment. And what happened was like they were literally tortured like a normal, like you can say
Right.
normal prisoner, right? These were the times where human rights were not that defined, right? I mean, like it's like a gray area, right? Those old days, right? 1900 times, right?
Yeah.
Those are the times this is happening, not like 2000, right? So the thing was they were tortured and those kind of things, and like all the prison stuff, right? It's all done, and literally after some time it just got very serious, right? The study got very serious,
Okay.
right? To a point
Okay.
where the guards were literally getting pleasure by torturing, right? I mean, these people who are literally innocent, right? I mean, they literally didn't cause do any
Hmm.
crime. They literally volunteered. That's the only thing. And they even said, some of them even said, I don't want to even do it anymore. Right? That is the whole point of the study,
Oh
right?
man.
If you when you
Right.
don't want to do it anymore, you can quit, right? Like
Yes.
it was the thing, but the whole professors who were doing the study, they literally got carried away, and everyone got carried away.
I
They
see.
literally kept
I
on
see.
torturing, and there was like one professor, one lady professor which was coming from external university, right? And seeing this,
Yep.
she kind of reported the whole thing, and like knocked some sense into all those people and kind of
Right.
dropped the study, right,
Right.
as a whole.
Right. Right.
And it is good that actually the students were not that damaged from this experiment, right? Their IQ decreased
I
a
see.
little bit, but and their mental stability decreased, right? I mean, obviously
Hmm.
it will, but it's not
Yeah,
like a
absolutely.
very
Right.
permanent damage, right? Like it can be recovered.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
what is thing. But the
Hmm.
thing was, the whole study, right, made another conclusion, right? I mean, which was, you can say, like study does something, and from that a totally different conclusion becomes, right? I mean, like you get the idea, right? Like something which is
Yeah.
even like you didn't think about taking from the study, right?
Right.
Something which is
Right.
totally you can say like an inference from the whole study.
Okay.
So what was it like? What was it is like? These guards, right? These guards were normal people who were employed, right? Who were given
What the heck?
some amount of money, right? to do this.
Oh,
So the conclusion was that people, when they are motivated enough, they can be made to do bad, right? Even if
yes.
they are good, sane, and they are from a family who does good, right? I mean, it depends on
Right.
people, but the thing is, thing that says is that majority of the people can be stirred into doing the totally opposite of what they consider moral. Just one thing you
Okay.
have to add: the authority, right? Some authority
Yeah.
has to say, and what happens is they say, okay, the authority said it, so it is good, it is legal, let's do it,
I see. I see.
right?
Right.
They don't
Yeah.
think the
That
moral
that
factor,
sounds
real moral factor, right, of the
correct.
whole thing.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
And this is what happens with a lot of drugs and all, right? They just do testing, and sometimes the test does fail a little bit, and they just slowly just say, okay, um, let's get, let it slide, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's take some volunteers, right? We already know that this drug causes a lot of cancer. The volunteers might
Yeah.
actually have a huge impact on their health. You remember,
Absolutely.
remember like a minefield, like Vsauce minefield.
Yes. 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 The
In
whole
that, there
series.
was an episode where he literally hired some people to basically say, like he literally said, okay, here is a drug. This drug causes a lot of things, like they will make people infertile after taking it, and those kind of things. Don't say to them
Okay.
this will happen. Just get as many people as you get, right? They'll be getting paid, like toys what they asked for, right? Toys what they was have. That is the
I
whole
see.
thing.
I see.
The thing is, whole thing was a study, right? Will
Right.
they call or not, right? Oh, everyone was actors, right? I mean, except them, the people who were hired for, you can say,
Yeah.
asking questions, right? Asking questions in the sense like, hiring people, right? And like, finding
Yeah.
volunteers, right? The volunteers they called were all actors, right?
Okay.
So what
Okay.
happened was only one person among five kind of told
Right.
the actual consequence of the drug and said, if you want to back off, you can back off. There is this
Oh. Okay.
consequence, right?
Okay.
And
Right.
that was interesting because see, the thing is, these all people were mentally healthy and did positives in their life,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
given that situation, given that twice amount of money, right, like,
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
literally
Hmm.
changed their perspective of things,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
I literally said all these things just because the thing is, people who are good, right, can do evil,
Hmm.
right? Only
Yeah.
thing is, they
Yeah.
have to be put in a particular situation where evil is you can say evil is easier than good,
Right. Right.
very easier than good, and that is the exact situation getting created when Apple and Google, these old people are going to like filter off these specific pictures and give it to like some X amount of humans who
Yeah.
they think it's mentally fit, but might not be at 10, because anyone can turn given the right situations. That is what these studies show us.
Right. Right. Right.
That is why I
Correct.
say,
Correct.
like don't trust humans, right? But the thing is, actual thing is, it is really on you, right? Like, if you are taught to just survive, you will do this, right? But personally, I don't think I never will sign up for anything like this, right? If even I was like given an offer, right, to do this.
Right. Right. Right.
But I don't know, right? I mean, it's just that some decisions cannot be judged, by basically asking a question. Like, if I ask you a question, you say something, and if I put you into a particular position, right, of doing something, you might take a different choice, right? With that panic, with that
Yeah.
chemicals in your body, right?
Yeah.
That is that is humans are chemical bodies, right? I mean, I'm deviating from the topic a lot, but the thing is, this is, I think, very relevant to this topic, right? That
Yes.
is,
Yes. That's it. Yeah.
really, we can trust a group of people to surveil, I guess, all the people who are.
Correct.
So I think either like there should be a law and order, right? Otherwise, the law and order is
Yes.
better
Ethics
in
in
the
AI
sense.
and those things. Right.
Because the thing is, we can actually kind of sue them, and we have some transparency, right? Okay, why did these people kind of suspect me, right? I can ask for the evidence. What did you see?
Right.
What did you see? I can ask who collected this, right? Who did this? And things like
Absolutely
that,
correct.
right? And they have to say it because it's right information. Right? But
Yes.
here in company, they can say it's classified. Right? It's just company property.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
we can't say anything about it.
Correct.
Like, we are not allowed, right? I
Right.
mean, we can say
Right.
something like that, but the government has to answer to every one of your questions. Normally, right?
Yep.
There are situations where they
That is
classify
correct.
stuff, but like it's like clearly
Yeah.
military stuff.
Yeah.
There are also things where they lie, but let's not go into that.
Right.
That's a separate
Right.
topic. But I think government should handle this, not private companies, not
I
you
see.
know
I see.
Apple or
Yeah.
Google. It should be the government, right?
Right.
Who should regulate these
Right.
things.
Absolutely correct.
So I'm neutral with this topic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So by that, we move to the next topic, and the last topic,
Absolutely.
that is plastic SOCs, right? From, I guess, Qualcomm, right? If I'm not wrong, or
Yeah.
maybe ARM. I forgot like who
Um,
actually made it.
like plastic SOCs, right? Plastic SOCs, but from ARM,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. ARM. Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
It's
Correct.
ARM
So
SOCs.
yes, I mean, it's having that architecture. I forgot the name. Cryo, not cryo, but it is having some compatible architecture through which it is right now compatible with some of the devices which are having those chips. So it is basically a working chip which can do some computations. And
I mean,
the
like
whole
the thing
point of
is, this is
developing a
plastic, right?
plastic chip. Yeah, yeah,
Like it's very, very curious, right? It's plastic. I mean, it's not a
exactly,
semiconductor.
exactly,
It's a plastic. I mean, if we can
absolutely.
do this, maybe
Yeah,
there's plastic is a good thing, right? Like, yeah, let's see.
correct. Correct. I mean, the thing is that, see, the chips have lots of transistors. Those transistors are made
Absolutely.
of PNP. PNP transistors are made of diodes, right?
PNP or
Consisting into
NPN or even like
NPN. Yeah,
MOSFETs where the
right.
channels, right? I mean, most of them are
Absolutely.
FETs,
Right. Right.
IGBTs.
Right. So, I mean, see, those are made up of diodes, and those diodes are made up of some of the, I mean, the semiconductor being doped using impurities, right?
Absolutely,
So that's the
absolutely.
whole point of having that semiconductor and doping it with some impurities, either having positive or negative electrons. I mean, more or less electrons, and then you create holes or excess electrons, and based on that, basically you have something which is not even a conductor and uh, not an insulator. It's like some kind of a mixture of both things, but we don't know like how they created plastic SOC
I
using
have
plastic.
zero idea, right? I mean, how they
Absolutely
even
zero
made
idea. You're
plastic to
you're too.
literally conduct, right? I mean, I have never even heard
Absolutely.
about a plastic which is conductor, right? It's not even conductor,
Yeah.
it's like a insulator, right? I mean, it's not even
It's the
semiconductor,
insulator.
it's
Yeah.
insulator.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Either they have invented a new type of plastic, right? Plastic is a general term, right? Plastic is anything which is
Plastic
rigid,
is
right?
a broad term.
Broad
Absolutely.
term, exactly.
Absolutely.
So it is anything which
Right.
is polymer but rigid, right? That is the thing,
Correct.
right? It's like a chain
Correct.
but
Correct. Correct.
rigid. Um,
Yes.
like plastic is basically like saying the opposite of elastic, right? Plastic.
Yeah.
Plastic, breaks on you can say on shear force, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
elastic kind of deforms and comes back to the
Yes.
original shape
Yes.
on
Yes.
shear force. So yeah,
Correct.
that is what defines plastic, right? Anything just cracks, right? You kind
Right.
of know plastic crack, right? I mean, while metals just dent.
Absolutely.
So metals are elastic and
Absolutely.
plastic are plastic, right? Uh,
Right.
so the whole thing is
Right.
like, I mean, if we can make plastic chips, like, plastics are everywhere, right? I mean,
Yep.
it's not
Yep.
like I mean, silica is really everywhere, but the main problem is
Right.
pure silica is not everywhere. You can, in
Correct.
theory, take sand and make into chips, but the problem
Yeah,
is it's
it is
so
literally
impure that you need a lot of processing.
absolutely. It's like, it's combined with oxygen. So it's the same thing with, like, you don't have enough of hydrogen, because hydrogen is everywhere in water, but you don't
Yes,
have in pure pure
like
form.
literally water is
Similar to like
hydrogen.
silicon oxide. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
It takes immense energy to extract hydrogen from water. It's just
Exactly. Exactly.
it's just not
People
viable.
have built. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And even like
It's like,
making hydrogen is like basically
hmm,
environment just goes up. The
right.
earth you kind of know loses hydrogen 1 ton or something. Hydrogen per
Yep.
I don't know how much day. Like it just loses a lot. I mean it loses
Yes.
amazing
Yes.
amount of hydrogen per year.
Right.
And
Right.
that
It's
is
like
really
Earth is becoming.
because like hydrogen is
Yeah.
very rare on earth. That is what is happening, right? Like but it
Exactly.
is the most abundant thing in the whole universe, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, like you can continue.
Yeah. I've seen, like, it's amazing that Earth is getting lighter day by day. We don't know. I mean, we
Yes,
don't know, and
so
it is getting lighter.
hopefully
Yeah.
it can do maybe like 0.5 nanometer or something, like pushing to
Yep.
the limits,
Yep.
right?
It will be interesting
I
to
don't
see,
know,
like,
like the clock speed,
these
maybe
things.
like it is more of a non-conductor, so I mean, it's a
Right. Right.
semiconductor. If it is a semiconductor, it might not be more of a conductor. Semiconductor is like,
Correct.
you have non-conductors, conductors. Right? It's like a slider
Okay.
between this, right? The
Okay.
semiconductor is anything
Okay.
which is in middle, right? Like you can
I see.
say it's not
Okay.
at, not near experiments, right? You can say.
Okay.
So plastic is somewhere, I guess, somewhere here, right? When you compare it, like,
Okay. Okay.
right? I mean, it's like little bit, you can say, conductive, right? I mean,
Okay.
whatever they have invented, right? The original plastic is
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
insulated. Uh, so it might be an insulator, more insulator than silicon,
Yeah. Yeah.
but a
Yeah.
semiconductor, right?
Could be.
Then in that case, we can actually have a little bit more interesting effects, like
I
quantum
see.
tunneling and those
I
kind
see.
of things actually happens in a very atom level because of the resistance really decreases as the
Yep.
thing
Yep.
gets smaller and smaller. And quantum mechanics, I mean, it's one of the case, but quantum mechanics is another thing, right? Like,
Yep.
but the thing is, you kind of know silicon is very big atom when compared to, one of the famous plastic is polyethylene terephthalate, right? I mean, PET,
Yep. 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 Yep.
right? Polyethylene terephthalate, right? I mean, that is like,
Yeah.
okay, so polyethylene terephthalate is like, the ethylene molecules you have, right?
Uh, Abhiram, just a moment.
Okay, okay.
Your voice is not audible to me.
Oh, yeah, right. I mean, I
Yeah.
got a call.
Okay. Now it is audible. Yes. So you can
Now
continue.
it is audible, right? So, yeah, I mean, I got a
Yeah.
call, and like that is. So
Okay.
polyethylene
No
terephthalate is
problem.
like, you can say, it's like, I don't know if it is correct, right? I think it is the polyethylene
Okay.
terephthalate, right? I mean, PET. Uh, so it is like ethylene molecules, right? It's like polymer,
Right.
which is of ethylene molecules, and what
Okay.
happens is these ethylene molecules are not that big, as you can say, like, the ethylene is ethylene. What is ethylene has? Ethylene has actually carbon and I think hydrogen, if I am correct, right? And
Okay.
oxygen,
Okay.
carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. But I literally forgot
Right.
what's the chemical formula of it. But the thing is, it is smaller, right? Silicon is very large atom when compared to carbon,
Oh.
these things, right? So I
Yeah.
think if
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can literally make some plastic, I don't think it is PET, right? 100% it's not PET, but
Okay.
some kind of plastic, then
Okay.
the atom should be smaller in that. If the
Right.
atoms are smaller, I think they can make it smaller, right? The chips,
I see.
more
Yeah.
smaller nanometer, right? And I mean, like now we are just getting a functional chip rather than really like high-end chip at this point, right? I mean, it's just starting of the
Correct.
technology, right? Plastic chips.
Correct.
But if we can improve it, I mean,
It will be next level.
that will be next level. Yeah,
Then
sure.
Yeah, the silicon shortage thing will be like past.
I mean, there will be plastic shortage.
Yeah, yeah. If it
It's
is like
plastic,
some
right?
kind of a yeah. What do you say?
Then we'll be like literally going towards the islands with the
Running for
plastics, right?
plastic.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
those
yeah,
islands
yeah,
we created with plastics. We'll be literally going there to get plastics.
yeah, yeah. Correct.
Yeah, people will be like, okay, yeah, we can't make the phone out of plastic, right? And people will be
Right.
buying phones out of plastic, right? I mean, the ones with one
Yeah,
million dollars and those
yeah.
kind of things, right? Phones, they'll be like
Oh yeah.
literally full plastic, right, instead of metal. Like,
Yes. Absolutely.
yeah, like, this is just fun, right? I don't think
Yeah.
that will ever happen. But the thing is, plastic is derived from petroleum. That's right? Mainly.
Right. Right. Right.
Nylon and
Yep.
those kind of
Yep.
things, if I am correct, nylon is made with the reaction of hydrogen chloride. Yeah, it is hydrogen chloride is one of the ingredients, but I forgot the others.
Okay.
Right? So nylon is actually not made from petroleum, if I am correct. It is a
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
totally different polymer, right? Made from.
Yeah.
But that is also a plastic. The polymer which is a plastic, right?
I see.
Nylon. But the specialty of nylon is that it is very ductile to a point where it can be woven into threads, right?
Oh. Okay.
That is
Okay.
exactly why, even though it has a plasticity, it doesn't break because it's too thin to break,
Right.
right? Those things, right? I mean, you get a very thick steel rod. You just bend it
Yeah.
once,
Yeah.
bend it twice, done, broken, right? While you
Yes.
just take a very thin piece of, like steel,
Right.
you can bend
Right.
it many times and it won't break.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Because the thing is the
It won't break.
shearing, right? I
Yes.
mean, it just tears literally if you have bigger.
Right. 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 Correct.
And yeah, I mean, that is exactly why nylon works. Uh,
Perfect.
I don't know. It's like PVC pants. That will be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But PVC, I don't think is a thread-like material, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Hmm.
The chain effect. Like if you throw a chain out of a beaker, then what happens
Okay.
is the chain kind of, what happens is there is like you can say gravity pulls down the
Yeah.
chain, right?
Yes. So
And
it kind
there
of
is like the chain coming from the shooting from the beaker, right? And it kind
right.
of
Right.
shoots
Right.
up, kind of.
It has
There's a
some
loop,
force. Right.
and
Right.
it
Right.
is
Right.
now named after some YouTuber. I forgot, right? Uh, like the
Oh. Okay.
effect itself. It was named
I
after
see.
some YouTuber now, and
Yeah.
yeah, like there literally even Nilatrobu came into picture, and he was like saying,
Okay.
um, "Okay, so this is a mechanical problem, so I'm overqualified."
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean,
Right.
he explained this clearly, right? This force and everything,
Hmm. Yep.
and his
Yep.
theories were pretty convincing, I think.
Right. Right.
He even made that whole problem into a one-dimensional problem. Yeah, mold effect. It's
Yeah.
called mold effect.
Oh, I see.
It
I
is
see.
Steve Mold, right? That is the person who made that.
Oh. Okay.
Steve Mold.
Okay. Wow.
Steve Mold is I think he is a retired from NASA or something. If I remember correctly.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
If I remember correctly, right? So he is a genius. Right? He's absolutely
Right.
genius, right? And yeah, and he literally, did contact some professors and those kind of things. Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually really amazing, right? He even like went through a crane and kind of like he went to a higher distance, very higher distance, right? from
Yeah.
from very high altitude, you can say, and he
Yeah.
literally dropped the chain from there. And what
Oh.
happened is that the
Okay.
chain kept on accelerating until a point where it just the acceleration was too high that the chain literally
Yeah.
broke, right?
Oh man. That's a lot.
And it literally came like if the beaker was here, right? It literally came to like
Okay.
like I don't know, like this much or something, meters.
Right.
It went meters. Like think about it.
That is
Like I
next level.
mean, the loop going meters.
Oh,
I was like literally afraid, right? Like I was literally afraid of the idea that that chain is going to snap, and when it's going to snap, the whip effect is going to happen, right? And if he has his hand or something near it, face or something, it is
oh man,
literally going
that
to
would
put
be
a hole through
disastrous.
it. Like,
Right, right.
the release of potential energy into like a wave,
Yeah,
and
it's a
just
lot.
keeps
It's a lot of energy.
increasing and exponentially increasing, and
Right.
just a lot, right? I mean, the whip is like an
Absolutely a lot.
literally an engineering mark if you think about
Yeah.
it. But yeah, let's not talk about too much mechanical here, right? Yeah, we went too much into mechanical engineering. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
these all things are amazing, right?
Absolutely correct.
And it's like fascinating, like new things are really discovered now. Literally now, like
Correct. Correct.
no
Correct.
one
Correct.
literally threw
Yeah.
the chain over the beaker until some YouTuber did. Like,
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
mean, is there something yet to be discovered, right? We are like just
Yeah.
seeing it
Yeah.
every day, but we didn't name it or didn't even think about why that happens, right? Like
Right. Right.
something like it's plastic chip now. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who thought you
Yeah.
can make a chip from plastic? Now they have made it.
Exactly.
Hopefully in the future we might learn, right? Okay, silicon, no, yeah, silicon and germanium are old technology. Here comes plastic. This is plastic
Right.
chips, and plastic are like this, and you have to dope it with this thing to
Yep.
make a diode or something like that. Maybe not doping, maybe doing x-rays or something. I
Hmm.
don't know. I have no idea what to
Right.
do. So yeah, like
Yeah.
I hope everything is recorded, right?
Yeah.
If we are like
It is. It
literally
is.
stopping and kind of
I'm
going to
sure. I
play
mean,
this and
listen.
literally nothing is there, that will be disaster.
It will be a huge disaster. Yes.
It will be a huge disaster. How much time is this? Like
Absolutely.
1 hour,
It is
30 minutes,
1 hour and 12 minutes. Yeah.
12 minutes. Okay, okay. Like I mean,
Yeah.
I have started the stream from the laptop for like 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, my phone is
So
also
yeah.
really low on battery. So uh,
Okay.
I
I
think
guess
there is
by
no
that
next
we come
topic,
to
right?
the
It's like done, right?
no.
You know.
By that we come to the end of this podcast. So yeah, I mean, please like, share, and subscribe, everyone, and
Yeah,
do share this podcast with your techie friends. Also, let us know in comments for improvements, and if you
then
have
there
any
is
questions.
Tux forums.
Yes, absolutely. There is text forums. You can go there and ask help for any detailed. Detailed help if you need. You can always go to text forums.
And there is actually a
It's a
Tux
text forum.
forums group. When you go to
Yeah.
tuxforums.com, you will find the group. And
Yes.
if you want to ask some, like a generic, you can say a generic discussion, have a
Correct.
generic discussion with the community. You can have that there.
Correct. 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 You can always go there. Right. Absolutely.
So
So yeah, bro. I guess let's say bye to the audience, right?
yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Right? Let's meet.
Okay. So goodbye, everyone.
You can
Yeah,
do it,
let's
right?
meet every Sunday. Every Sunday,
Every
9,
Sunday.
10 p.m. around.
I mean, it
Yes.
depends, right?
Right.
Most probably will be live or like recorded at
Yeah.
9
Yeah.
p.m.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
thinking about a
We'll
format
try
where we
our
just
best to.
change from live and recorded, like just now and
Correct.
then,
Correct.
right?
We are just experimenting right now. Whatever works with us,
So
we'll
yeah,
continue with that.
if there is any live, we will like announce it. We will try to announce it before
Absolutely.
even the episode starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should
Yeah.
create a kind of like a official channel to kind of post updates or something, right?
Right. 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 Yeah.
So yeah, I think we can ask Arjun
That's
to
important.
maybe to
Right.
help with that. So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
let's roll the outro.
Yeah. Yeah. So goodbye, everyone.